Short video today. I've got a 2008 Chevy Suburban 2500. I've got a engine check light code that happened, and it turned out to be a P2273, which was an O2 sensor stuck rich on bank 2 sensor 2. And it also had a P0158, which is O2 sensor high voltage on bank 2 sensor 2. So the wires look good. I'm going to go ahead and just replace the sensor. And when you look at an engine, you look at bank 1's always the side that your number 1 cylinder is, and that's always the front cylinder on a V8 on the driver's side. And then bank 2 would be opposite of that. So bank 2 is going to be this side. It's going to be the exhaust manifold coming off, and then the first sensor would be sensor 1, and then sensor 2 would be the one after the catalytic converter. So this is bank 2, sensor 2, which would be behind the catalytic converter. Went ahead and ordered this part. This is a Denso part, and it's 2344256. And there's two types of sensors. Of course, there's the front one, which is sensor 1, and sensor 1 has a different type of connector than this one. This is sensor 2. It has 4 wires on there. The other one has 2. So let's get this connected in the system. I got the truck jacked up, and you'll see I've got my jack on there and a jack stand, and then I lowered part of the weight onto the jack stand, but there's still a lot of this jack supporting it. So let's climb underneath there. Take a look at this. This should be right behind the catalytic converter on bank 2. So there it is, right there. Kind of hard to get to. Kind of right where I put my jack. So I may have to move the jack, and I may not have to, because I could do this right-handed. I can reach up there. It's got to scooch under here more. And then I've got the wire that comes over to the other side of this frame. And I'm going to just pull that out, pull the green retainer out, pull that clip up, and that should disconnect. Sorry, but that's hard to do one-handed. Okay, that's the 4 connector one. So now I'm going to get a wrench up here, try to loosen this up. See, after getting a bigger wrench and torquing out, pulling this really hard, I got it to loosen up. Now it's just going to be a matter of me getting up there. I don't think I'll be able to do this by hand yet. And loosening this up, actually. Not yet. Okay, but this wire isn't done, so I'm just going to slowly wrench that off. I'm not going to be able to do that with one hand, so let me go ahead and pull that off. I went back to the smaller wrench, and I got it loose enough that I'm getting close to getting this off. Just a really weird angle underneath there. Got it. Let's look at that. There it is. Let's take a look at that in the light. To be honest with you, it doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good. I'll compare that online with some charts that say that, I mean, it's been running rich for a while, so, but it's still pretty clean. Let's go ahead and replace it with the new one. And here's the brand new one. Looks identical, almost. Nice and clean, same connector. And they also give you some of this. I'm going to put some of this on the threads. Don't get that on the sensor though, but just a little bit on the threads. And this is going to keep it from locking up. Anti-seizing compound. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on and wipe it on the threads with my finger. putting on is going to be the reverse of how we took it off. I'm just going to screw it in by hand, and then once it's tight, too tight for me to turn, I'll use the wrench. Again, by doing something like this yourself, it's kind of inconvenient, and sometimes it can be very difficult to get these off, but you're saving yourself a ton of money. That's going to get this wrench up here. It's very tight angles. Probably not so tight if you've got a lift and you're not trying to record it. Yeah, that's good and tight. Now I'm going to fish this up through across the frame again, the other side, and then come around to the other side of this frame and plug it in. Just like that. And put this little green thing back. Turn the camera off to do it. There it is, it's on there. That's it. Now I'm going to clear the codes and drive it, if it's still there in a couple days. Well, so that's how easy it is. I'll leave this part in the descriptions on Amazon if you want to look it up. But really, that's it. It's not that difficult to change out an oxygen sensor, and you can save yourself a lot of money. So let's wrap this up, get it back up off this jack stand. And we're done. Time for clear the codes and a road test. Now it's time to clear the codes, and I have one of these readers. This is a LM327 interface, older one. I'll put one of these on, a link to one of these on Amazon if you want to pick one of these up for your vehicle. And you just plug it in right here, and it's going to connect Bluetooth to my telephone. So first thing I'm going to need to do on my phone is to turn my Bluetooth on. And then I'm using, there's all kinds of programs. I'm just using a simple one called Torque Lite. And it's gonna, I'm going to turn on the switch. All right. We still got that engine light there. And on my phone, I'm just going to go to fault codes and clear logged faults. All right, let's turn it on and see if the light goes out. Yep. So the check engine light went out. So I'm going to just run this for a few days, and if that code comes back, I'll be troubleshooting something else. If it doesn't, then everything's running good. Thanks for watching.